All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty wild idea called Dadabank. Now, this isn't a real bank you can go sign up for it. It's more of a thought experiment, a concept that really makes you question everything you think you know about your money, banking, and who's actually pulling the strings.
I mean, think about it for a second. Your banking app. It makes everything feel so seamless, so personal, like it's completely yours. But is it, really? That simple question is the absolute key to understanding why an idea like Dadabank even needs to exist in the first place.
You see, we're all kind of living in what you could call the centralized illusion. Banks are in this huge race to go 100% digital. They're ditching the branches for slick apps, powerful AI, and this promise of effortless service. And honestly, for the most part, it's super convenient.
And that feeling, it's a powerful one, isn't it? Just tapping your phone to pay for coffee, zipping money to a friend in seconds, it gives you this sense of ownership, of autonomy over your financial life that was pretty much science fiction just a couple of decades ago. But yeah, there's always a catch. Because behind that shiny user-friendly app, there's a whole different story playing out. All this convenience we're enjoying, it comes at a price. And that price is all about where your most sensitive information actually ends up living. And this slide really nails the huge disconnect. What we see is our money, right there, on our app, ready to go whenever we need it. But the reality? All of our data, our identity, our spending habits, our entire financial history, it's not actually in our pocket. It's sitting on a massive corporate server farm, totally controlled by them. And that setup creates some pretty serious risks. You've got a single point of failure. If their system crashes, your access to your own money could just vanish. Then there's the constant surveillance, which is just a given, right? Every single transaction is tracked and analyzed. But maybe the biggest one is this. You don't truly own your assets. You just have an entry in their database, a digital IOU that says they're holding it for you.
So if that's the problem, what on earth is the solution? Well, this is where the Dadabank concept just flips the whole table. Instead of trusting some huge central company, what if we could actually build the bank right in our own homes?
The core idea here is something called physical decentralization. It sounds technical, but all it really means is taking the guts of the bank, the ledgers, the transaction proofs, all that computational heavy lifting, and spreading it out across a network of regular people in their own houses. This completely cuts out the middleman, the big cloud providers like Amazon Web Services. Now, this might sound super complicated, but the whole point of the concept is that it's supposed to be easy. You don't need to be some tech wizard. The idea is you grab a simple, low-power device like a Raspberry Pi or even an old computer you have lying around, run some software, and boom! You're not just a customer anymore, you've become a literal piece of the bank's foundation.
Okay, so a decentralized network of hardware. That's an idea we've seen pop up before. But Dadabank adds this other layer, this twist, that completely changes the philosophy of the whole system. And this is where the data part of the name comes in. And it all starts with asking this really important question. I mean, almost every financial system ever created, even the decentralized ones, is built for one thing, maximizing profit. So how do you build something that actually values more than just accumulating more and more wealth?
The answer is something called data chaos. It's this brilliant little mechanism that siphons off a piece of the network's revenue and then uses it for something completely random and non-financial. Like, it might randomly fund an artist's new sculpture or help pay for a local community garden. It's designed to inject fun, randomness, and culture into the cold, hard logic of finance.
And when you put the two models side by side, the difference is just massive. On the one hand, you have traditional finance, which is all about the relentless chase for predictable profit. On the other, you have this system that's built first for user control with this amazing little chaos engine that rewards creativity and community in the most unpredictable way.
But of course, people need a reason to participate, right? So the people who run these nodes in their homes, they earn rewards. They get network tokens for providing that storage and computer power. If you've ever heard of projects like Helium, where people get rewarded for setting up little wireless hotspots, it's a very, very similar idea. So when you put all these pieces together, you've got the physical decentralization, you've got this cool chaos engine, and you've got the user rewards. You start to see the ultimate goal of this whole concept. It's about something way bigger than just making a better banking app. And really, this one line just says it all. Instead of the old top-down model where a big company owns all the infrastructure and we basically just rent access from them, this flips the entire pyramid upside down. The users, the actual people using the system, become the owners of the very foundation it's all built on. So the key takeaway here is that this is not some kind of get-rich-quick scheme. The goal of a system like Dadabank isn't about wild speculation, it's about sovereignty. It's a long-term vision for taking back control over the fundamental financial tools that really do shape our daily lives.
And that kind of leaves us with this one last big provocative question to think about. We've basically built our entire global economy on the idea that the whole point of finance is to generate more wealth. But what if it could be about something else? What if it could also be a tool for empowerment, for community, and maybe even for a little bit of fun? What would a world like that even look like?